Mario's here, Gary's here, Armand's here, Kathy's here, Casey's here, Pat's here, Robin's here, Donna's here, Doug's here, Sue, John, Fiona, Ellen. Dave, Dan is coming with the food, Amy is here, Allie's here, and Jeff Putnam is here. Good, okay. Got everybody. I would like approval of minutes. I would like to add a item to the minutes. 6G would be Board of Ed meeting space. Have a motion on what? On the agenda, yeah, 6G. Board of Ed meeting space. Is that Ellen? Second. Ramon. All in favor? Opposed? Could I have approval of the agenda, the whole agenda? Pat?
Second.
Ellen? Yeah.
Yeah, so we added G and approved the agenda.
Right. Okay, next, the minutes that are there. So, okay, Gary, have a second? Donna? Yep.
Comment. So
Okay.
I move to approve the agenda, but I'm not listed on the roll call, so we might want to just.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No,
it says
you're
approval of
saying-
agenda.
number 3.
No.
No, this one here.
Sorry.
Yeah, the roll call wasn't on.
So you gotta make an amendment.
Make the roll call.
Sorry, John. Yeah.
Just turn invisible.
Yeah. So, Gary and Donna, you okay to amend the minutes to add John to the roll call? Yes, okay. All in favor of amending the minutes to add John to the roll call? Aye.
I abstained because I wasn't here.
Abstain.
I abstain.
Abstain, 2 abstentions. Public portion, anybody? Public? Okay, Dan is a little late, so can we skip to number 6B? Just so you know, you received all of the his information. Just let you know also, remember, we wanted 10 hours a week, and he's doing less than that. So, but he's doing a great job. He comes to our Wednesday meetings and always participates, tells ONG if there's something what you can do better, which he's done a number of times.
Yeah.
So he's averaging probably 5.25 hours a week. And he's doing a great job, I think.
Yeah.
Does that include the meeting time?
Yes,
So it's
Yeah.
5.5 hours,
Total.
including the meeting?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're gonna go to, we can go to E. Yeah, we can do E and it's in your, that's the analysis of.
I know you like Dan more than me.
You do.
Yeah.
You know, usually we can't understand you because you have a sandwich here.
But Dan's got the sandwiches, so you're all set.
Well, we
Just
have
let the
the,
record reflect there's an able-bodied employee here representing.
it's a one-page analysis of progress payments. It's funny because on the minutes, it stated, Aaron said, no one has gotten paid by the state for their construction project because of Rogers has left the position. And I sent you that night, or the next day. So I got home, I turned on my computer, and I was at 9:20. I get an email from the state. It's approved. So it took us to May 10th to get the check. So we did get a check on May 10th for $5,530,000. Right now, the state has given us $12,749,000. In arrears, retainage is 1.2 million. So we got the check Wednesday, filled, and I sent the stuff in on Thursday or Friday. And I sent another bill in for $11,856,000. So hopefully that will be paid in July.
I have a question then.
Yeah.
So are they up to date on their payments? Because they were behind a couple months. Now we're up to date, right?
Up to date, I just submitted the next payment, payment number 7, last Friday. So it's all in here.
Yeah.
So sweating it out to get paid.
Yeah, hopefully they hire somebody, right?
Yeah. So again, remember, the city has bonded and notes of 28,450,000. So we're still, we used about 15 million of their money. So we have about $13 million left. So that will cover us. Yes.
Might be for the guy from OMG, not the. Why are the retainage percentages different? Is there-
Yep, because generally you'll see them range between 7% and 5%. 7% are trade contractors who do not have their CHRO, affirmative action plan, approved yet. So we're obligated to hold an additional 2% in addition to the 5% until the plan's approved.
First line's got 15%.
You never know with the state. That's,
This is the state withhold?
yes.
That's not,
I thought that was us.
No, this is
No,
the
but
state.
you'll see it on our application. It's very retained.
Yeah.
It'll calc out to an odd percentage.
Yeah, they're,
And it's also my understanding that you're going back to like, it's being 11% hold, they're going to 5% hold now.
don't
Is that
know.
removed?
I didn't hear that.
That's what I heard a couple months ago. So I don't know if you can find.
I'll
that
find out. Yep.
5% is a lot better than 1%.
Oh, yeah. Remember, the city knows about that. And when it's finished, they're holding retainage, the state, and we'll have a bank anticipation notes to cover that until we get the money. So the city knows that. Well, I can just go over a couple other things. Just let you know, we're applying for a community investment fund grant. Friday, tomorrow, we have a Zoom with the state at 1:30. What we're doing with that fund grant, we're gonna call it, what did I say?
Community recreational
Community,
complex.
yeah, community recreational complex. So we're asking for the turf, lights, more tennis courts, and so forth. So that's what, scoreboards, 2 scoreboards. So
How much was the grant?
we're putting in for 5 million.
State
Go
meeting?
for it.
State money, community, it's community grant, investment fund. And then we're gonna tell them, you'll love this, Casey. There's a skate park, coming and all of that. So-
Pickleball courts, you're gonna put pickleball courts in
Pickleball
there.
courts, yeah, so we may get it, and we had to send a note to
The mayor,
the mayor and
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah.
So just let them know that we're applying, because it's just like the field that we had, has to go through the city. City gets the money, and the city has so
When will we get a decision on the application?
I think August.
And what's the total bucket of funds to be distributed?
They never told us. But it's really because we're an alliance district, we're a distressed community, so
I was going before we have to make a decision.
well, it's gonna be close.
Yeah, it's gonna be,
In June, you know.
Dan thinks we could table the whole turf and tennis court decision.
But Ed, what did you say about skate park? I missed what you-
Well, I'm gonna tell them that we're gonna have a skate park, it's community use. the whole
Right,
thing.
so in other words, there'll be recreational uses in front of the school
And on the
back.
side.
Okay, yeah, you talked about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. It's a community.
Not for a minute, you're gonna put one in the school.
Yeah.
Just to keep us from putting one up front.
Good idea.
No, just for schools.
Yeah. I think I heard that the not the skate park, but the park and rec maybe is going for a couple $100,000 to help round out the funds for the skate park. I don't know.
I know the project is about $900,000, but I haven't heard about.
Yeah. I thought there was a little bit of a shortage. I don't know, maybe the mayor's planning on doing that, but listen, if we could help anyway. If we got this, what's the sandwiches?
Oh, you know, they're right there.
Yeah, yeah, if we could get a good chunk of change, we could actually turn that place into
Yeah.
a real something to be proud of, or even more so than we already will be.
Yes. So,
And let me just say this, not that it's up to any of us. It's critical that we get this turf somehow.
Yeah.
Because the number of kids who are gonna be playing on there between the schools and recreational leagues. We're gonna have a hard time keeping the grass there.
yeah,
Mario, of the 5 million that you guys have so requested in the grant, how much is already carried in the building project for things of that
Well, the
nature?
fields are an alternate right now.
No, oh, so. no.
Yeah, for plus or minus $2 million. The tennis courts are an alternate for plus or minus 110 or
So we
so.
don't already have out
no,
required savings to get there.
Feel free, I'm not gonna say what it is.
So specifically to your question, again, my sincere apologies for my tardiness.
That's quite all right.
What I have and what I'm distributing is the list of alternates that we had, and then I have a couple of pages out of the spec book that describe just briefly, in a few words, what the alternates were. Yeah, so arriving at Jersey Mike's 15 minutes ahead of when they were supposed to have these finished. It's not good enough. Once
It's a good thing you
once
showed
I
up.
got the sandwiches made after I arrived. I left and there was an accident on East Main.
yeah.
And it was like, I was cued in the spot where I couldn't move. I did see it was a fellow that didn't get hurt, but dumped his motorcycle.
Thank you for picking them up. Yeah.
So the paper I just.
Been beautiful weather.
Yeah, it's that time of year,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So the cover sheet is again a list of alternates. If you look on the right-hand side, in the right-hand column, it lists the July 4th decision by date. That tells you, and also in the center column, if it's still a pending alternate. So as you guys are, the heaviest alternates or the most alternates are related to the athletic field. And that's your first grouping at the top there, everything that begins with an S. Yeah, so you do have fields, but you don't have a turf field, I think.
The base bid is grass fields, natural grass. And, those include some good soils and appropriate drainage and appropriate irrigation. But even with the best fields built, they're not as quick to
be ready in the early season when it's still frost and everything, and they're not as quick to recover after a storm.
Is there added drainage or anything to put a turf field in?
There is, that's a part of the cost of the alternate, includes the drainage required for turf field. And it makes them miraculous. Or just keep playing in the rain.
On the, if we go with grass, is it budgeted for sod or is it seed?
Seed. And so,
There's a grow-in period.
right, so taking the property in March of 2025, the spring season is lowest. The fall season will have seed down, but it won't be playable until the spring season of 2026.
We don't have that money for the other. Field. Is it better to put someone in for sod necessary? If we have money. It's not good.
Sod is always, oh yeah, your deliverable on a sod is typically about 2 months, as opposed to, you want to give a full growing season before you get on a seed born. I'm sorry?
Should we consider that as another as a backup to?
Like an in-betweener?
I mean, plus the size. That's not good.
It's certainly a good idea, and even if you don't capture like the baseball fields, or you just want to sod the all-purpose field, or vice versa, because your spring play will be on the ball fields, on the baseball and softball fields, so you may consider sodding those.
Is the artificial turf, I don't know how to put this, the good stuff?
Yeah.
Or because obviously you can get hurt anywhere, obviously, but artificial turf obviously has claimed a lot of knees, a lot of hips.
Other way around.
Okay.
Well, maybe not, that's not true. Knees, yes.
Well, it's got
Head-
one way to
head
say.
injuries are usually lower on artificial.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're standing on that.
No, because we have the turf field at the high school, right?
Right.
And we do it every year at GMAC. Make sure it's
test, yeah.
test, make sure it's okay.
I mean, obviously, you can get hurt anywhere. I just want to make sure there was good stuff for the kids. that we can do. Okay.
Any other questions on the alternates? Yes.
Can we defer this till August till we find out if we get this other grant? Because I think it'd be harder to get the grant if we vote to pay for it now.
Yeah, so I've gone back to the trade and talked about which particular alternates can be extended as far as acceptance dates. I haven't got firm information for you tonight, but I do want to just give you the general feeling is there's pushback. They're holding on to these numbers and know the pricing is increasing at this point. So we'll have additional time. And it varies per, it's concrete sidewalks. They already have a concrete contractor. He's engaged. They have a unit price. They'll hold that number as opposed to something like synthetic field. That's an item that they don't hold a contract with anybody. They're buying it outright. That person's only guaranteeing his price until the deadline.
I have a question. Like the annual upkeep of turf versus grass, I'm just curious, what's the?
$7,500 for the
For the
stadium
turf.
field right now,
Yep,
which is, I imagine, way below
yeah. okay.
what it would be if it was grass.
Grass,
and-
you gotta
and it's
mow it.
actually there.
I think the
if you-
big thing is the replacement though.
Right, every 10 years it's supposed to be replaced,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that field on the stadium will last a good 13 to 15 years because we're taking care of it. If anyone's seen the baseball or softball game this year, it's been an embarrassment. The ball goes through the outfield and nothing but dandelion stuff goes flying everywhere. Now, the field's gonna be perfect when these guys are done with it. But it's gonna take time. It's gonna, you might be able to play on it after a year, but it's not gonna be fully matured for 3 to 5 years probably.
They'll want to overseed it. They'll recommend overseeding
Yeah.
the following season.
If we could get a grant, because we don't expect the taxpayers to pay for it. Turf is, there's no doubt that turf is the way to go. No doubt about it.
Bringing the middle school up. You know.
Yeah, the amount of play that's gonna be on these fields is gonna be virtually impossible. We need 2 extra tennis courts, pickleball's exploding. We could line those courts for pickleball. Youth soccer doesn't have enough fields to play on. They constantly are trying to fix Albert Park. So it's truly is a community thing. It's not strictly for the high school, but turf is the way to go.
Board of Ed's responsible, I think, so.
Yes.
And if you put it there, if you go with turf, the money's gonna be fine. Come on,
I understand.
and then we'll feel.
Well, if you're not getting the money to treat a turf field, you're not getting money to take care of grass.
Yes, right.
Yeah, it's actually less money to.
Because it's less.
maintain the
Turf is much less.
But you should put that money.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're talking about replacement money.
Replace,
Yeah.
yeah.
Replacement money, which so far we have.
What we would recommend is you take the maintenance money that you would have spent on a natural improvement.
Well, we're doing that, the surplus. We have 400,000. Hopefully we have another 200,000 this year.
In order to replace
Correct.
the carpet.
And the report.
So is the ask that we're gonna vote on these tonight?
No.
Oh.
So but you see the deadline is July 4th. That's again a contractual date that was in our bid documents. So June 22 is we'll have a presentation of what these alternates are. You'll be able to view a little bit more on the screen. Show you the extent of the turf. You know, it's the all-purpose field and the varsity ball field. It's not the softball field with the JV. So that information will be available. Right. And we talked again about this.
In practical terms, correct me if I'm wrong. It's a moot point because we're not gonna have $2.4 million to do with it.
That's correct.
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't find a better way to say that, but that's, you know,
It's a miracle.
it's a miracle happens. I guess that's a segue to the Mario. Yes.
Is it a Title IX issue if you do the baseball but not softball?
Well,
That's
They're both
interesting.
playable.
Yeah, it is good.
In the base bid, you are putting in the scoreboard for the softball,
and not for the baseball.
not for the baseball.
But if we get the grant, there's gonna be, that would be.
Because there's a scoreboard at Fuchsia's Park. That's
But a
right.
scoreboard doesn't equate to a field.
No,
No.
but the,
Well, they both are gonna have playable fields. I have to really look closely at how that's interpreted. And some people don't. There's also a subjectiveness about which is a better playing field, artificial turf or natural. So I don't know that you could say
well, I
that
would,
one is a, that it's a. that it's a-
I would say this, Amy, the field, which again, it's a moot point unless we get the grant because we're not getting it. The multi-purpose field is for both girls and boys, soccer
I
and
think
football.
it's just about
Um,
softball.
And the outfield is being done because it's impossible to transition between the two because they overlap each
And the
other.
outfield is done on the JV baseball. The varsity baseball is on the other side of,
And that's grass.
and that's grass. And then there's two.
I mean, so both softball
Because-
and baseball varsity are grass.
grass.
Yeah, so I don't think there's an issue.
Just a thought because.
Yeah, the only reason the outfield is getting done because there's no way to
Stop it.
stop it.
Yeah.
But Torrington is not known for keeping up the girls teams versus the boys.
I understand.
in-
I'm all
in softball.
about keeping up for sure.
I think there might be consensus among people here that turf is better, but I think there's still concern about a cancer link with turf infection when you, I mean, there's still some things out there that I don't think it's a pure win, like treating boys better than men.
What if they're gonna turf one field and not the other?
But I don't think because some might be able, it's subjective, as Amy said, that perhaps some may say we shouldn't be doing that to.
I'd rather play baseball on it.
If we ever got this grant I think you'll see outfields being turfed, but not infields. From the coaches I've spoken to and the players, they prefer the skin infields. As far as the safety of turf, for every single study that's been done, there's a 10 more that have been done that show there's no link to cancer. They're using virgin rubber now. They're not using ground up tires before. The majority of the concern is in indoor arenas like Torrington Sports Arena, where there's not proper ventilation. You know, you're in an indoor arena. I've been down this road quite a bit. So
I'm saying, multi-purpose is great. I don't think it matters. I think-
okay, so the thing you got to think about, right, is you look at the condition of the field now, right, and it's not a knock against anybody, and you add all the middle school kids to it, and think about how we're going to keep the grass there.
Yeah, but that's the rationale that we would make. It wouldn't be a Title IX like we, you
No,
know.
no. We're going to listen. I'm the first one to say it right here and right now. We're going to do everything we can to make everything equal for women as we are for men, because that's the right thing to do. So,
Yeah.
Well,
we don't
I
know.
don't know. It might be just the lighting that we've got planned in the alternate is for the multi-purpose. It's not for the entire complex.
The grant amount exceeds the amount that is earmarked for these types of projects, right? So, I mean, just in rough numbers, you take the lights and the turf, you're at $3 million. We're asking for $5 million. I don't want to oversimplify it, but that's right.
It's good to keep it.
Yeah.
High elevation view of something.
Watertown just replaced 2 turf fields. Now, this is the skin, not the drainage underneath, for, I think, $1.2 million. I think Pucci's price is happy, but we'll find out. Again, it's a moot point. If we don't get the grant, we're not doing the turf. Yeah. Well, we have to, if Dan says we need an answer in the June meeting, which was the original plan, we might be able to push it up a little bit. We're gonna have to say no to the turf field. That's all there's
And then
to
if the
it.
grant comes through.
If the grant comes through, we revisit.
But we can't say yes anyway.
No, I can't say no.
Based on the contractors.
Won't matter, because we'll never get, Fucci will never do this turf field because we don't have the money for it.
Right, if you go
But
down.
it's
the-
gonna
Unless
be
we-
anyway.
Right, I'd say on August 15th, you get the grant application already rejected the alternate because of the time.
Yeah.
Go back and say, okay, here's the price.
Yes.
X, Y, and Z.
And that'll be that day's market.
Right now, we're getting,
Helps.
I've done 4 fields, 2 of them with H.I. Stone. He's doing 4 fields now. Yeah, so he's getting me pricing for a complete field. We have this square footage, so he's gonna say, okay, the turf is $7.50 to $8 a foot. The drainage is X, Y, and so forth. Also, the light, the scoreboards, I put in 2 in Wallingford that were solar. So, because they were way out and it works perfectly. So we have to do solar, we'll do solar.
Listen, if we're lucky enough to get
Get it,
this
yeah.
$5 million, there's a lot of beautiful, wonderful things we could do. Right. But if we don't get it, we're having grass.
Correct, and to just make sure, correct me if I'm wrong, if this grant money comes in to the project, it's not as if we can award something to the contracted base. It has to happen outside of the scope of.
It's gonna have to go out to bid.
All the contracts that are already.
Right. Because the funding is coming from a different source. and-
Right, this project can't see any of those funds from this.
Yeah.
Rural state perspective.
We don't know, you'll know Friday, tomorrow when we have the Zoom conference.
With regard to, if it was a turf field that was something that you wanted to go forth with through a different contractor or rebid or however, the process would be the trade contract we have now would then take money out of his scope for providing grass. So we would get topsoil and grass as a credit back to this project. And then we would leave at some point in time, we would grade that area to the point where it's at a line, a flat plane of earthwork, and then say, okay, does the city now accept this portion of our project early? And then we could give it to you, and you could hire whoever you want to do to come in and do however you want done.
I don't know if we couldn't do it with this project.
What I'm saying is, if we spent more money, the state would just say, yeah, we're not, you know, OSCG&R is not reimbursing. But it doesn't matter because the grant. The city is still within their rights to spend more money. It's just the state of Connecticut is just going to cap the amount of money that they reimburse.
From my understanding, I would be hopeful that any additional funds that are provided to build something within the project reduce the reimbursement total that they would give.
Because
And
they're-
85% of X dollars, they would say, okay, we're gonna take that 5 million right off the top. Yeah.
And they give you 85% of less.
We'll make sure we don't make.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we've got some time to look into that, but that obviously.
That's a different project.
They would have to agree that there's more money going into the job. But we have some time.
It's a moot point until we find out.
We have a good relationship with the reimbursement group over at OSCG, and so we would get that in writing, clarified, so that you're making a decision based on knowing what the state's going to do.
Yeah, it's two different departments that were going.
Right.
Do you know if we need bids for the grant?
Oh, yeah.
I would think we would need.
Oh, yeah, we
bids.
did it for the other grant. Yeah.
So that just suggests we wouldn't go out to bid if we received the grant, because it wouldn't give you 5 million without having a basis of knowing how much the project is gonna cost. So are we using these bids that we got for the project?
We will find out tomorrow, but we could certainly use these as placeholders.
Yeah.
Right, 2.4 million, 95, the 150, and so on and so
Well,
forth.
for the grants, they don't normally ask you for bids, they ask you for like an estimate. of the
Right.
cost. So you get a contractor to give you an estimate of what it might cost, not an actual change. So then, and that's what you file. with what your grant estimate. You say, these are the estimates we got to do this.
So, Danny boy, long story short, then this group owes you answers in the June meeting?
Yeah.
There's some more questions about the state. Oh, yeah. Right. And then we got the top. We need to ask for no one. We're losing- if we put 5 million off the top of it, we're already fine. What do we do about that? also?
That's the problem.
I know. So
Is there a solution? Not that I've heard.
That's all I want.
Right, so you're reducing your scope in some sense, you're getting a small dollar back, but you're increasing your scope and you're getting the funds to replace it from a different direction.
Are we reducing our scope or are we just reducing our alternates?
Right, so
Reduce
you
the
are
scope
gonna
a
reduce.
little
scope.
bit by taking
It all depends on the-
regular grass out and the topsoil.
And even in the case of the concrete sidewalks, you know, you're gonna take all that bituminous sidewalk out, so you're gonna capture some credit funds. But you're going, you know, so then, yes, and the states come back and taking a chunk of your reimbursement away. Does it actually pencil? Someone has to do some math in order to confirm that up. What's that? I would be happy to participate as relationship with OSCG has been good. He gets the,
But that's a tough deal.
I provide the values from the trades who are giving you the money back. And then the decisions that come from OSCG, it's usually a joint effort between Ed and Slam and myself. Yeah, once the state comes back and says, if you do this and you get 5 million bucks, then we're going to do this to your reimbursement.
It's only if you took the money as a part of the project. It's only if you took the money as a part of the project. If you hand it off and finish that of fields that are just dirt, nothing else.
See, the money
say,
goes to the
Right.
city, doesn't go to us.
Right, but if you left it the way you suggested, which was take the grass seed out, take the topsoil out, and the city accepts the property, the grant becomes a separate project. And what doesn't have anything to do with the building project or OSC.
Exactly, and that's the.
That's why we're
that's the
calling
way
it a
that I-
community recreational
Right. So it
center
doesn't really matter.
that it goes to the city. The city's in charge. We have nothing to do with it, building committee. They have a separate building committee, which will be mostly us. That's what we did with the field. City got the money, Board of Ed didn't touch it. And so it's the same thing, I think. It's different than when Eversource is gonna give us money, then gives it to the Board of Ed or whatever, then they say, we're taking it.
Well, it's not just, I mean, the problem with this, in the city, I'll use the sidewalks as an example. We received almost $400 4 years ago. So, you know, this is, I'm not against this, I'm just saying, it is different than the city, because it may never happen. Where did it-
No, when we went,
It's happened
when
before.
we got the 3 million,
Well, I think if you're awarded a grant, there's gotta be stipulations in there that it gets spent by a certain time.
Well, yeah, I can give you the sidewalks. Well, I know what's going on because my son called me all the time. Not so the sidewalks, those $4 million, we're gonna have the sidewalks back. That's all I'm saying.
There might have been a COVID delay.
There was no problem, so I know.
All right,
well,
All right, let's move on.
let's move on, yeah, okay.
we could have had the grass grown by now.
So I think last month, mostly what I wanted to emphasize to the group is that we were moving into a phase of structural steel and concrete slabs. And really, over the course of the month, that's what we've done. The project overview or summary, as I'd like to put it, is at this point, we're now 18% in financially. We have reduced the amount of potential costs. I'll go through cost and change issues, but just to report, the project financial health is still very strong. We have less than 1% of changes, and we have a lot of significant deducts in costs, making the approved contract changes at this point in time a negative 1.6 million. And that's outside the BE that we captured earlier. The CM at-risk contingency went from last month at 3.2 million to this month at 3.16. So again, very few dollar value changes have come through to us. So I don't know if we have all those lovely pictures.
Yeah, the pictures are there.
They're the back of the.
And
I don't
also
know if
there's,
everybody's flipped through those pictures there. Just to see some of the progress. But I'll start with commentary as soon as I get caught up to speed. A happy group of children.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness. So what that was the opportunity of a class of students.
that's in the back,
From high school. Yeah, at the back of your packet.
back of your package. Also in the back of the package is a, which really helps. This picture.
Yeah, that does help.
Right. See, sleep, don't you, Amy? Fall asleep. Okay, so there's literally there's actually two groups of photos. One was from this event that was held about a week ago, in which the classes of students from the high school came through over the lunch break, and we were able to walk them through the site. I see Mario's smiling face. On the far right,
The shortest one.
is Brian Plakuta, the project superintendent, lead superintendent. On the far left of the photo is John Mauricio, he's the project engineer, my right-hand man on the job. The photos I was referring to are progress shots. That's this large group of photos. That's a different package than that package.
That's correct.
They already have one.
Yep. We're up to 5 kids now.
5 kids are on the project.
Jesse's starting to
Or
run.
apprenticeships.
Okay, so, yep, your update by area of work in area D, the kitchen cafeteria area. The scope of work, we finished up the underground plumbing. We took the time to correct a couple of very minor changes, but now all the floor drains are just right. We got some clarifications to what needed to be done on the underground. That area is now fully backfilled and stone. We are preparing for placing slab. In area B, your main high school or half of your main high school academic areas. We're now up through structures is fully signed off. The floor slabs through the lower level, all the way up, 1, 2, 3, 4, have all been placed. As I move around the circle to area A, the remainder of your academic wing in the high school, the slab on grade was poured about this time last month, structural steel up, complete. The roof is signed over to us, but we have about a day or two's worth of detailing left up there. We pouring slabs for elevated floors in there. We poured one today on the second floor. We pour the third floor tomorrow. And we pour the fourth floor next week on Wednesday. As I move around the circle, the crane moved over to erect areas E and F. Both of those structures are up. The area F, once it's complete, is your middle school portion. That's our topping out ceremony, the far east side or closest to Major Bessie Drive. That topping out beam completes that erection, and that is scheduled for next week.
Also, tell about the stairs that are going to be.
So right behind structural steel and floors, we have the permanent stair systems. Those are starting on Monday. The couple of operations in building B. So our critical path or the primary path of construction is to go through area B into area A, the 5-story section. And after floor slabs placed, we work on the structural steel detailing that's outside the structure. That work is about 50% complete. That carries the brick veneer. And we release the fireproofer. So he's been on the job now a couple of weeks. He sprayed the fireproofing through the first floor, lower level, first floor. He's moved to second floor, and he sprays the stair tower so that the stairs can go. So again, the stairs start next week. CMU has started, the elevator shaft in that same section of the building. And then remember, we had all these tall walls in area B. So the mason being on site, he's actually started brick veneer on what is really the lowest portion. You can't really see it yet from Route 8, but when you're driving by Route 8, you'll start to see the brick come up in that area first. Let's see, so other than that, in area B and A to C, we have finished the foundation. This aerial photograph shows area C. What you're seeing in that drawing is the proscenium, the stage front, and then the foundation is the exterior of the building. You see how it's kind of radial and then has a straight line? That's that straight projection screen, flat portion of the elevation that faces the courtyard. So we finished up the foundation in that area, had a pour today. And so going forward, we're backfilling that area. We have until next Friday to finish erecting area F. The crane will then move over to its final location in front of that flat portion of area C and begin erection of area C. Once the structural steel section is up, there's a 13-day duration activity for that. That big crane finally goes away, and we look forward to a smaller crane so that we can get more done around there to erect area G after we do the demolition in early end of June, early July. Finish up.
And I have a question.
Yes.
Was this drone image from your May 3rd? And I'm just kind of asking for an approximation if it's a day or two off. The reason why I'm saying it is I was at the school today.
Oh, it's off, yeah, because
And
E is almost done.
E
E
and
is
F
done.
are both erected.
Right,
All
yeah.
3 floors of steel, structural steel are up.
Almost settled.
Almost.
Yeah. So this, to answer your question, yes, This is from that May 3rd event.
So May 3rd to May 18th, that whole wing got built basically. It was pretty amazing.
Except it won't be done till next Friday.
All right, I'm trying to compliment you, man.
And next Thursday, when I'll go over the,
Right.
topping off, there'll be a drone taking a picture of the whole thing.
Oh,
Yeah, so as this picture was taken by drone, we scheduled again the drone to fly over for that event and actually take movie video of that event.
We try to get Dave onto to take the picture from the crane, but he won't go. I'll go right on. Yeah.
The boats with jerks.
One question. One of the
So-
kids, one kid get called in, a couple weeks instead of trial.
Yep, so the lower level, following that fireproofing operation, we had what was called a priority walls meeting. That's again, where we bring the mechanical, electrical, plumbing trades in, and we figure out which walls have to be constructed ahead of installing overhead systems. So that work has already begun. The priority walls are framed, and we're now doing what are called tops, which is drywalling those areas of the wall that'll be impossible or very difficult to get to once the heavy mechanicals go up. So we actually have our first duct delivery a week from tomorrow. That install starts on the 30th after the holiday. In addition to that, the cold form framing, exterior studs that make the exterior walls are also up on the lower level and first floor on area B.
I don't think the whole.
It's the natural progression here.
We hope
Oh, no, I
some
didn't-
natural sheeting, right, this kid? After those tops are done, you think it'll be time for sheeting outside?
We still have about 2 days of fireproofing and incandescent paint that have to be done before we'll start actually putting the green board, green sheetrock that makes the exterior.
Their group is working overtime this week.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, fireproofing, the guys belongs it's from
Yeah,
Pennsylvania,
I know.
so they don't work on Friday.
He's great.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, he feels the pressure because he knows he's under pressure. So other than the specific things I mentioned, it's really all been about concrete pours. We did have 1 week pour where we poured 71,000 square feet of flat work in 1 week. As I mentioned, we have 2 pours this week, 2 pours again next week. The crane just keeps moving. He's hitting targets for putting up the structural skeleton per contract. So we're pleased in that regard. Roofing comes next. We did move him out a week because we want to get to where we have the framing complete on the exteriors above the roof line when he lands his product. And that way the product's not up there hanging around for a week. But yes, the targets are being met here. Overall on schedule, we're marching at what we expected to be marching at. We've had a good couple of weeks weather-wise, and it's looking good again for next week, so we're all pleased with that. We are going to lose Saturday this particular weekend. But again, overall, schedule is doing well. The site work is the last thing to mention. Work accomplished last month includes some sanitary and storm on the Route 8 side of the building, just to finish that product up so that it's not in the way. For now, brick veneer and metal stud are going to essentially own the outer radius of the project. That's what's happened. What's coming up is, as I described, the crane is going to move. We're going to finish erecting, and we are just pushing hard on exterior cladding, and interior framing is moving at a 2-week per floor process. So I will move ahead then to cost and schedule issues. The bad news I have for you is that now that we've gone through all these DE items and we're at 95% complete getting all these people signed up, the bottom line is we didn't hit the $3.7 million target that we had hoped. We're around 3.5. So there is going to be a 200K hit, 224K shortfall from what we had hoped we would capture from all of these estimates that we had carried at the close of bid.
And that is going to directly impact the cost, the available funds in the owner's contributions. I go through a few, again, small nickel dime items I try to identify in this cost and schedule report.
Where's that?
Where is this?
Yeah.
Part of the agenda, it's right
On
before.
the packet,
PCO.
project
Oh, it's in
commentary.
that same one. Got it.
Something about
On the back
pages. What I try to identify for the group is that anything that's worth more than 20,000, I want you to be aware of it, know the statuses of it. We've worked with SLAM on what was the alignment of the new building as it ties into the high school. We thought that we could find, we thought we had the best way until we got the numbers in. It wasn't the best way. It's been revised. We're down now in the 25K cost, which is much better than the 70K number that I had carried. The next item of merit is there's 2 detention basins on the project. Receive water, retain water, force it back into the aquifer. The design of those ran into some complications with conflicts with utilities. And over on the side of the gym, manipulated the shape of the unit to work around the existing tree that's there. Bottom line is, again, it was about a $70,000 first cost. The now signed up cost is $16,000 for the one on the upper left and northwest corner. And I'm carrying an estimate of $20,000 for the one on the southeast corner. I note that we got a $20,000 savings on the buyout of the stage. The worst hit to the owner's contingency in the last couple of months is a $35K hit for some switchgear. That's in for approval now. I think the number is the best that we're going to see on that item. The next item I mentioned is a alternative lighting pattern. I know here in the report that I was looking to try to zero that value out. I got my numbers in at first blush. It looks like it now will turn into about a 15K savings.
Switch here. And I may not have been here for me, so was that from my other issue or was that? something-
No, it was the fire pump that energizes the water window fire protection system and builds up the pressure from what is available through the city. The motor size was larger than what was in the electrical set of drawings. And so the disconnect turned into a piece of switch here. Went from a 400 amp service to an 800 amp service.
Sign, it's electric. How do you do the sign?
Yep. On a positive note, SLAM redesigned the lighting and saved $15,000. The thermal paint is the biggest hit to the CM contingency. I mentioned it last month. We've released the contractors actually did area B. Great looking stuff. Yep, you won't physically see it
It's the
because
best
it all
looking
gets
hidden
buried.
stuff.
Right, but you'll know it's there. Right. In the report, I'm estimating an additional, so we released 30K. I have carrying an estimate of 94K. I'm still working that number. I've got new numbers today. I'm down to about 75,000 more dollars. So that's the biggest hit to the CM at risk contingency. But again, numbers are better than what I report here. And that's the list. I mean, that's a short list for a project of this magnitude in the time frame that we're at. We're at a point where these numbers are usually flying in at us, and they're sometimes too big. So again, just want to emphasize it's a healthy project. The ASIs, PRs, and RFIs. RFIs stepped up this month. Not a bad thing. ASIs and PRs down to a normal pace of several per month, half a dozen at best.
Yeah, this, maybe you haven't gotten it, but the change order for the detention system, does that relate to the issue we had? The conflict with the utility lines, or is this change order something different?
In this particular case, it's because on bid day, we had a pure rectangle. And in the final configuration of approval, the configuration is not so simple as a rectangle that has a couple of offsets to work around the tree. And we needed to increase the size of the concrete inlet structures. So there's about $7,000 in concrete structure cost, and the balance is just in the materials and stone for the units themselves.
So cost and schedule unfinished. I mean, I really think overall the project is very healthy. We're still in a literally we're in the negative. We haven't even come up to the extra cost that we found savings on. In addition to all that, we haven't even got back to zero. We're still a million ahead of the game. And I feel as if I'm not telling you enough about what's coming up. Coming up, we're just gonna keep pouring concrete. We have all the floors to pour.
Concrete.
We have all the floors to pour in E and F. We have the building C structure to come up. And we have the last of the slab on grade to pour in those two areas. That will really be the focus of the big dollar work that happens in the next month. But you should know that all the MEP trades are engaged, the drywallers engaged, the masons engaged. We're now building the rest of it.
If I could make a comment about the concrete, I was at a different project last night at a community forum, very, very early design stages of that project. And someone came up to me and asked about the Positive company and the ground glass along that we used in this project in the concrete to save energy. Basically, the carbon footprint of concrete is very, very significant. It's horrible.
Cement is a very
Cement
bad thing
is
to produce.
bad for the environment. But the cement on this project is 26 or 27%, I think, less environmentally horrible. Less bad. And it was, noted, and it's been publicized. There was a tour of the site a couple of months ago. And it was in the news, and because of that, they actually brought it up at a different project, and it was just a community member. So good press that you're getting is known all over the state. So I'm working on that, and project with a lot of concrete. So it's
There
good
is a
that
lot of
they're
concrete.
using
The
the
design
best.
mix is coming up very well. We had some concerns over how fast it would cure out.
Yeah.
Normal concrete, you're trying to hit design strength in 28 days. We're on this project, we've been, the design mix isn't confirmed to hit until a 56-day cure period. But we've hit, 90-95% of design strength at 28 days. And elevated slabs have been great. So it's a good mix design,
Mhm.
and it's saving the environment.
Realistic
So again, there's a lot of nice pictures in this package that will describe, the work that happened. You have a giant temporary stair that gets you all the way to the roof.
I only went up to the second floor.
And the end of the package contains some aerial shots similar to what you see there.
That fall too.
What?
Two stories versus 4, you're still gonna probably end up not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a problem with it.
Oh,
It sounds stupid, but
it's the best place up there. It's nice.
it is. It's a, you take the whole.
Not going to move though.
Okay. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Next one, C, phase 1 and 2, application of certificate of payment. You have the whole items. So we're looking for approval of $5,040,560.15. Have a motion, Fiona? Armand? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
yeah.
What?
Is that your operator? One friend is that?
He's not ours.
That's how you buy the, he works directly for Baker, doesn't it? Burley puts them on the payroll. How it works.
I don't know.
Usually with a crane that size, and the operator is provided by the. And but they're put on for the payroll.
Who's got
Typically over, I think. Yeah, right, they come together as a pair.
They come together as, yeah.
Next item, discussion action for the PCOs. So the first, excuse me, the first one is 38R, the underground detention system. That number was way up. It was like 70,000.
It was 70,000 for both of them. This particular one was up over 25. And so we reduced a few things in order to get it down.
Let's go over the next one is the security door contacts.
Just a couple of doors that were realized when we did the security shop drawings that a pair of doors coming into the building didn't have contacts. So they were added.
The next one is the 51 is the security allowance. That was from phase one, and we went above the allowance.
We did, and just, not that it's a huge thing, but the reason for it is because there was no electrified hardware where we needed it. So really, we were pretty close on the cost of the security itself. We're within a couple of grand of what we had carried on bid day. But the additional hardware, when we moved the doors, there wasn't electrified hardware there, and that's where the additional cost.
The next one is food court light fixture layout.
Small thing, again, when the final layout of the kitchen, we noticed there was some light fixtures floating around. And so Slam was given the opportunity to take a look at that, provided some better spotlighting over the serving lines. And the way it shook out to something we couldn't quite get to net zero.
53. Thermal paint buyout, that's ONG's taking care of that one.
It's coming out of the CM at risk contingency. Again, that was the first area that I needed to move forward with. And now I'm doing some heavy negotiation to try to get the balance.
The next one is a VE item, the stone layer at the fields. One of the VE items.
If you all recall, we did test bits to see what the drainage and the first capabilities of your existing soil were. And they were better than planned. So the Welty, the geotechnical engineer, really feels strongly that we didn't need the lens of stone, and it's a large field area, hence the dollar value.
55, next one was a stage 4 buyout savings. So we saved $20,000 there. And the last one is again, CM contingency, the elevator collapsible tow guard.
Right, so in the basis of design, they had, Slam had based their drawings on an Otis elevator, which meant that one of the pits, because it was a shorter elevator, was only 4 feet deep. But in buying the elevator from, on bid day, we got best pricing from Kone Elevator, who requires a 5-foot deep pit or a collapsible tow guard, just because of the way their mechanisms work. So we saved 100,000 and had to spend 5, which we took out of buyout.
Could I have a motion to approve all those PCOs? Now, second? Garrett, sorry. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Next item, you already, oh,
I forgot to mention.
what?
We went to the fabricator for the casework.
Oh, yeah.
We went to Legier Woodworking in Avon, Connecticut. They are the awarded millwork casework contractor. They wanted to provide a mock-up of, well, not wanted to, they had to, but they wanted to do it a little early because they have a fabrication window, put our project ahead of another.
Yeah, ahead of it.
Right?
So we took advantage of that. We got shop drawings approved, and they brought in materials, they constructed that, and we went to their shop. Legier is just a benefit to be able to have.
They're a high-end, they do high-end work, and to get them on a project like this it's a win.
Here's the picture.
Oh, it's,
Oh, that's got a picture, but yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. We literally took that door off of this.
Off of
So.
They're actually lighter in person, I think, than they are in the photos.
Well, yeah, the photo is,
A little bit.
Can we take them?
yeah, those are yours, yeah.
They're very well built. The shelving's a solid inch.
Yep. Your doesn't,
Wall.
Door right here.
Also, here is
Just took it off the hinges. brought it
yours
here.
in the AWI certified.
Victorian. Yeah,
Mario put it upside down.
I did.
It's a
We have no
plastic
plastic
laminate over,
laminate.
no plastic.
Oh, yeah, I did.
the core is like a
So
It's
fiberboard.
really unbelievable.
we thought that
The hardware is good quality though. Really, they do a good job there.
the only difference in the final product is the pull on that door is a bright chrome. And Amy's comment from the review was, that sometimes leaves fingerprints and things not as easy to manage, so they're going after a no finish or more mill finish.
Same product.
And
Does it come in different shades?
That's what we,
No,
All the
material
laminate is
had
in
to be
stock.
purchased.
It comes in
That was a part of
different
it.
shades, but this was this was the selected shade after a couple of options here at this committee with.
No changes.
no change. It's being reduced.
But don't look at that photo. Look at the real life.
Yeah.
and-
The photo's just showing you what it looks like.
It's lighter in person.
Yeah, well, you can go up to it, yeah.
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 Yes, yeah. Well, it's a printer.
The last project I did with Ligier was at Taft. School.
No, it's white.
And I think I spent $1 million.
Yeah, it looks
for
Yeah.
it.
It does not look like this.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Somebody just donated.
And we moved in, they're ready to go. What a shop. It's unbelievable. It's 99% automated.
Now in second generation, both John, Frank's son, and his sister, she's CFO, and John runs the operation. So it looks like a company that'll go forward for at least another generation.
Really good.
They do a lot of schools, is that
Oh, they
typical?
do, yeah.
Well,
They
they,
do mostly high-end, like commercial medical buildings type of stuff. They only now had to branch out because they have this voluminous capacity to produce our normal boxes. So they're now more competitive because they want to be, they want to capture, they want to keep their volume up. If they like feed the machine, they have to feed the machine.
I think they said you don't take any projects less than $2 million.
Avon.
Very organized though.
We saw some of the projects.
Yeah, New London High School,
Yeah.
you could see all their stuff stacked up on shelves, ready to go.
Medical building.
Medical offices, yeah, very.
Harvard? No, Yale.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
had some Yale medical.
Yeah.
We were pleased with their operation and the,
Run by a guy from Torrington in the plant, Rob
Yeah.
Kelson.
Yeah.
Austin's dad, yeah. He runs the plant.
yeah.
He's our project manager. He's
Yeah.
gonna guarantee we have all of our products boxed, wrapped, and on shelves.
Yeah.
So that he just releases as we need it.
Austin went to Torrington.
No.
Well, the dad went to Wokotech.
You look around, you find more and more Torrington residents on the job, you know what I mean? And where we go.
To 5?
Yeah, we have, well, that's apprenticeships, but we have other people who live in town.
Oh, yeah. No,
Who
the number
are-
of locals are,
Locals, unbelievable, you know.
well, that's another thing to mention. We're up over 90 people a day.
Yeah.
Consistent.
How does
We
this
did the
color-
analysis, the progress of payments. We're up to payment of invoices. You have it in front of you. The first one, I'm sorry.
Who does?
Just
Oh, I'm
from the
sorry.
design team and the color that was selected, how is that gonna fit in with the color of the floors
Oh,
in the room?
gosh, we had a presentation today because we were looking at the furniture. So I was just, Megan were at the high school today with faculty members and they shared the colors again. So I was reminded of it and I think it looks great. Yeah, I think you'll be really pleased that this is a nice neutral that is going to just endure. Were you in the sample room?
I found it.
Okay. So there's a sample room of furniture at the high school. And more came today. But you're going to be able to take a survey. We left a QR code for all the faculty members and students. So we're looking forward to hearing feedback about all the different samples that are in that
We
classroom.
met, the three of them and myself, we met on Tuesday at the middle school and all day from 9 to 3:30 today at the high school. So all the departments came through and went through everything.
But the samples are not meant for color.
No.
So just so you know, the furniture samples that are there, and I'd encourage you, if you want to go by in the afternoon,
Yeah.
maybe we'd have
I
to
sat in
schedule
all
it,
the seats yesterday.
but,
They're
you know,
nice.
you're welcome to see the samples. They are whatever the vendor had on hand
Yeah.
as far as color goes. So that's not chosen by us, but it's a nice sampling of different classroom furniture.
Okay, the first tri-state, all of his bills total
They're just-
$13,240.50. Have a motion to approve that amount.
So moved. Second.
Robin and Fiona. All in favor? Aye, opposed. Next one is innovative engineering. That's the commissioning agent for $1,773.09. Have a motion to approve that. Pat, have a second. Discussion, all in favor? Aye. The next one is Slam. For $76,702.50. Have a motion to approve that. Pat and Donna. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The next one, again, is B&L Company. Again, I told you, he's working about 5.5 hours a week, coming to our meetings, walking through. We've seen all the pictures on his, that he's taken, doing a great job for us. When he has a problem, or he sees a problem, he goes to Dan and
It's value added.
Yeah.
He provides not only QA, QC, but also like if we run into a tricky problem, we ran into a little bit of a tricky problem last week, and his experience level is phenomenal, and his brings new ideas to solution. To provide ideas.
yes. And I think, yeah, and it's funny because a friend of mine is the chairman of the Cheshire Building Committee. So naturally, they kept going G as the senior. And he did follow one thing, because I think Mario and I learned a lot from, and they have 10 hours a week at each building for, to look at. Like, we thought it was gonna be 40 hours and all that stuff. It's 10 hours. It's really opened up my eyes, mind of what a rep should do, owner's rep. So we're happy about that. So I have a motion to approve $4,851.
So
Kathy. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The last one is travelers. They're coming out with a group. They've asked for some information. That's our insurance company. They're coming out on the 15th, I think it is, to walk around. They've asked Dan for some items and so
Yeah, some
forth.
estimate stuff, some square footage stuff. They're providing your building.
Correct. Remember, it's $400,000 less than what we thought.
Right.
Yes, it's purchase power.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay. $246,114. Fiona, second. Armand. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The last thing is, I just want to give it out. And it's up to the Board of Ed about where do you want the layout for the Board of Ed meetings. I will not discuss it again after figuring this out. Just so we discuss it. The first page is where the middle school cafeteria. Second page is third floor media center. The only thing I had to discuss is
The high school. yeah.
high school. The only thing and it's up to the Board of Ed, I was just worried that if people come in, the front door should be shut anyway because if it's security, and if they come in with the Board of Ed elevator goes up to the fourth floor. You would have to change the what do you call it? Programming every time you go to the third floor. So
And then change it back.
change it back. So it's up to the Board of Ed. I just wanted to give them the photos and also with the middle school, the high school media center, they would have to move a couple of those portable.
Yeah,
Library.
or at least for library
Yeah,
bookcases.
okay.
Bookcases.
I mean, they're like that, so they'd be on wheels, but so they could get out of the way. It's just a little less convenient, right, for the custodians, but they're 42-inch diameters.
Just wanted to give you the diagram. It's up to the Board of Ed. So
When do you need an answer by?
it's up to you guys. You're gonna,
Well, but we need to tell Nick
right,
for the technology.
technology, yeah.
So by next.
Next month would be
okay,
great.
over that.
Yeah, so this way we can do the documents with it. Because we want to make sure the microphones and systems.
Okay, comments of the good order, Jeff.
Great meeting.
Thanks to the students and staff for all their patience with everything going on. Seriously,
Yeah, no.
can't be easy.
And I think both staffs enjoyed the meetings that we had to give them an opportunity to go through furniture and so forth.
I think so. Yeah, maybe one group wasn't excited. to see this.
You can't please everybody. Gary, Donna,
Thank you.
Case.
Thank you.
Did did you guys all know the topping out?
I'm gonna discuss it. I'm gonna discuss it.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll pass to, because that's what I
Okay,
was gonna say.
so, and I'll send a note around next Thursday at 2:30. If you could park at where the juniors park, okay?
The new parking lot that we created.
Created.
Closest to the road.
Closest to the road. If you park there, and we're gonna walk up to the gate, because that's where we're gonna have the topping off ceremony.
At what time?
2:30, get there. We walk up 2:45.
2:45, we're looking at hoist to be.
Plus, It's
Thursday.
Thursday,
Yes.
and you'll have a magic marker to sign.
Kids will be out of there.
Yes, that's why. Yeah,
With the parking lot, just there's a couple issues on the Board of Ed. Some people are, with the lower parking. I guess it's for the gyms. I don't know that much. The subtrades are parking. If the subs aren't supposed to park, make an effort to try to have them not park there. This is only another 2 weeks, right? So the kids are home.
Oh, the next 2 weeks, yeah, no, this was brought to our attention almost a month ago, in which, we have no actual way to force people not to park there. It's a public lot unless it's signed otherwise. So we did suggest if anybody puts up a sign, it gives us a little bit more teeth to push our guys down the road. But what we're understanding is, just by taking a quick little survey of it, only about 8 to 10 of the cars in that lot are trade. The other ones are all students, whether they're from Oliver or Torrington High. Yeah.
just to let you know, right now, there are 5 apprenticeship on 1 plumber, 2 fireproofing, OWI, what is?
General trades.
General
General
trades, and 1 iron worker. And we're gonna have some more general trades. Next Wednesday is the career fair. It's gonna be in the library instead of the gym. So we're all ready for that. Also, we had a class, which we taught women in construction, was done already by the trades. They came in and talked to the women, young ladies. So that, again, the furniture, we had 2 days of intense.
What
meetings.
time is the career fair?
What?
What time is the career fair?
They're gonna, probably 11:30 or 12, because it's during lunchtime when they have it. The guys will be there at 8:30 to set up in the library. Topping off is important, the kids, did they bring the,
No, the beam did not arrive. It is coming tomorrow morning, so we're making arrangements. It's
27 feet?
It's a 27-foot long number. We tried to time it sequence wise so that it doesn't prohibit completing the building erection. So we have to pick a longer member than we had hoped. That 27-foot member, if we get it up the Major Bessie driveway, it will go up adjacent to the school over by where the little theater is. But that's a long beam to take up that driveway, so there may be a better opportunity that we leave it down by the project site on the sidewalk area, and the kids would have to actually come down.
So it's huge, and it's tough to get up the driveway in the back with the technology.
The road's only 24 feet wide and a sidewalk, so
Yeah.
in a perfect day, you're driving up that.
Yeah, like that. So if we can't, then whatever, we don't want to save
No,
these
for the
for
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would really help us. So, you know, I'm gonna bring that message back and firm that up tomorrow, because the beam will be physically on site tomorrow by about 7:30 a.m.
What are yours?
Great meeting.
All good. Very efficient meeting, thank you.
Dan, thank you for the not construction expert drawings. They're very helpful for me. Thank you very much.
What's that? Thanks.
Oh, good, thanks.
It's a great team, and you know,
Yep. Now, some of the folks still would like to walk around the site.
Excellent. Would love to have you.
yeah, when
Should we do that on Saturday?
Again, your gathering should be small, because there may be some statute that says you can't have too many members in
Right.
an area without an announcement. We are there. We are there late every.
That is true.
Well, late, I mean, it's late.
So what time?
I'm there till 6 o'clock every day.
Yeah, we could go to.
And then on Saturdays, this particular Saturday, we're closed out. But Other Saturdays are
Not
pretty
gonna get deal weather this weekend.
would you rather do it late in the afternoon than during the week? Well, we'll pick a date to visit. An hour increments, okay. We'll pick a date, half hour, okay.
Yeah.
We'll pick a date and I'll send it out. So we'll say 4 and
whatever.
Yeah. 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Yeah.
By 4 p.m., we're down to just the overtime trades, which in this particular case is fireproofing and exterior steel. So it's not a lot of activity on site. It's a safe environment for people to walk around. So yeah, anytime 3:45 and beyond.
Okay.
the site's available.
Bring your hard hats.
Bring your hard hats and
And again, you're gonna need, you're not gonna do it less than an hour, you know, just to get.
It takes a long time to
I
walk
go around that thing
around.
in 10 minutes.
Okay, but then you gotta explain what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So let's go.
Gotta go read this.
So we do 7 and 7. you know,
Should we do, I mean,
Pick a date out.
let's pick one up.
Just so the next meeting is June 22nd, because there's a graduation on the 15th.
Why didn't trade come with 4th and all this? That's right.
Only the firefighter, the Pennsylvania crew, which he's now switched to 5s.
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing 410s plus a Friday.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could do it Monday if you want. If anybody wants to go Monday,
Next Monday?
Yeah. even if it's something.
Yes, this. 22nd. 4 o'clock? 4:30?
We have like 4 people who want to go.
We have triple.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Board members have explosions on
Johnny, you want to go?
I have an expulsion hearing.
What time?
5, 6, and
5, 6,
7. We have a triple play, so.
That is a triple flush.
Yeah.
It's murderer's row, like the
Yeah.
Yankees. Okay, so Patty,
Patty,
Armand,
And I think city council is
Donna?
scheduling a meeting for Monday.
6:30.
Yeah.
And that would be till 6:30.
That's 6:30. That's why I said. I'm-
3's good.
anybody else? Well, we'll be there at 4 o'clock, so
Okay, Case,
Construction trailers.
construction. till
Monday, no,
can't do Monday.
not Monday.
Donna,
I can do Monday, if you
Okay.
stick with Monday.
don't wear high heels, please.
All right, how about
Closed toe shoes.
Closed toe and boots. So
job tour?
Boots if you got them, but closed toes.
How about Tuesday? Who wants to do Tuesday?
Pants, skirts.
Tuesday, anybody?
It's at 22 and I can be there.
Well,
No skirts, you gotta work.
I don't wear a skirt.
I'm just saying.
On the job, I
If you
mean.
decide here.
Yeah.
Tuesday on the 23rd, John. can
I
make
could
it.
do it, too. I could do Tuesday.
Okay.
Casey, okay,
So 4 o'clock Monday,
whoever can show, and 4
4
o'clock
o'clock
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay,
I would definitely encourage you to come. It's something to see.
yeah.
And I don't know how many people expect to join us on Thursday for the West, with the topping out.
Okay. Whoever can come is gonna sign. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. You should all,
You're all
you're
gonna
all
sign.
big parts of it.
Yeah, it's just a tough time for
You know.
people that work.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get out early. Just send out an email.
Yes, I'll remind you Monday.
What time is that? 2:30.
2:30.
2:30. Either at 2:30, right?
Yeah. Thursday. I'll send out an email.
Dave just made me make sure that the beam will be available. It's the outside the construction site, so if you're not able to make the event.
Oh,
so
At least come and
name on-
sign it, yeah.
Name on the steel.
Yeah.
Use a lot of
Show up with a
space.
big fat Sharpie.
It's the same beam that the kids are gonna sign.
Yes.
Monday and Tuesday. Everybody's welcome. Good.
Is it really BYOH? You're on the cat, or if
You
we,
got one, right?
we do have one, but I can't find it.
We have access.
Yeah, your trailer has something. You got your little vest too?
Donna, how do you lose a gold heart?
I know.
Our mantle for a while.
I'm surprised Brian's not using it when he's gigging, like the village people.
Good. Anything else for the good of the order? Have a motion to adjourn at 6:29.
So June 22nd.
Have a second? Second. Thank you.